Hello friends, welcome to another video. In this video, we are going to look into how we can add multiple total columns in a matrix visual. The reason why we wanted to do that, maybe we want to compare in this particular demo what I'm going to show you guys is like we want to have the average of X number of months and then comparing that average with the current month and maybe also showing the variance percentage between the average and the current month. Um, Out of box, this is not possible, but we will be using some techniques, some DAX to make it work. This is going to be two-part video. In the first part, I'm going to create based on the months a user selected on the slicer, and it will work accordingly. In the part 2 video, we will enhance it further where user will pick one single month and will able to also select how many months he wants to compare, and it will automatically increase or decrease the range of dates or months and then work on top of that. Let's get to part 1 video, look into the solution, and then we will in next video look into a little bit more advanced in part 2 video. Let's get to Power BI. So here what I have is a simple metrics visual, country and then the month on the top, just showing the sales by month. And now here is the sum. This is a total of all these months what we have selected. So just put a simple slicer here. And what we wanted to achieve here is we want to show average here based on X number of months selected, and also show after the average comparison between the current month and the average. Let's say the average turned out to be $100 and current month sale is 90, and then in this average, in this current month versus average, what we want to show is current month minus average. So that could be plus and minus, and then you can also calculate the percentage on top of that. First thing what we need to do here is to find out how we can calculate the average. What is the method we're going to use? So I'm going to write a measure in one of the table here. I'm pretty sure you guys have done it many times, so I'm not going to go too deep into this measure. So what we're going to do is average X. So we're going to go over month. So I'm going to summarize my calendar table and then month and month sort. The reason why I'm using month and month sort, because my month column is sorted by a month sort column. I did a video recently and there was another average in that video using the same technique here. And one of the super user on the community, his name is John, he pointed out that I can add another column in my date table, which is of a date type called month, which can be end of the month, change the format of that to whatever the display I want to show on the month, and then I don't need to use the month sort column. I really appreciate his feedback. Maybe in the upcoming video I will do that. But in this video, assuming that we have a month column and then that is sorted by the month sort column, and that's why we want to summarize. Basically, we're getting a unique list of month and month sort, so based on all the months selected. And then what we're going to do is we're going to summarize over sales. So that's so we're going to calculate the average of sales. So this is our measure, and okay, this measure already exists, so let me so what we're going to do is we can't check this measure here. Maybe I put it in here, but that would not make any sense. What we can do is like how we can replace this total to the average. So it's pretty straightforward. What we can use is if has one value. So if month column, which is the month column we are displaying on here, which is calendar month, if there is only one single month column value, then we want to show the sales column. Otherwise we want to show the total, oh sorry, average. Now what does this means is when I'm at the month, this is has one value function will return true and then we will get the sales, and when I'm at the total, has one value function will return false, and then we will get into the average code of the if statement. Instead of using the sales column, I use the average sales, the new measure which we created, and drop the other one. So this is not, the total is not a sum anymore. This is showing the average of the month selected. So if I select more months, depending on number of months I selected, the average will keep on changing depending on the selected. So this is what the average is. And now our second, actually the reason for this video is to show the another column here, or the total here, which will show me the current month. In this case, the current month is the most recent month. In this case is October. What is the difference between October and the average? And if I selected the November, then I want what is my most recent month is, current month is November. What is the most recent month versus average? What is that differences or variances, and also the percentage. What we're going to use here is we're going to take advantage of calculation groups. If you haven't worked with calculation groups, it's really powerful. And one of the things with the calculation group is you can reuse your calculations. And the second thing is I just want to make sure to use calculation groups you need external tool. In this case we're going to use Tabular Editor 2, which is free of cost. And also I want you guys to check out my playlist on calculation groups. I've done many videos on calculation groups. It's really powerful. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a calculation group. I'm going to open Tabular Editor here. Let's create a calculation group. Call it calculation group trend. Just that's the name of the calculation. So this becomes a table. And then the name of the column, let's leave it name, and then we will add two calculation items. One calculation item we will call it maybe trend, and the other one we will call it compare. Trend I want to be the first one. You can change the ordinal. I want this to be 0 and compare to be 1. Is it changing? So if I move it, I want this to be 0. Okay, so here you go. So that's the trend. So what we're going to do in the trend calculation item, the same thing what we did in the in our average measure. The one of the advantage with the calculation group is we can take advantage of selected measure function. And the reason why I will use that, because currently what we're doing is we did the average on the sales measure. But think about it, you have many more measures, quantity, discount, tax, or any other measures. You want to apply the same logic on any of the measure. So instead of just putting the sales measure, we can use the selected measures. What does that means is any measure which is used on the visual, the average will be get calculated for that. So I'm going to copy the same average sales measure from here and bring it back to my calculation group. So what I'm going to do here is, so this is no name. So if has one value on calendar month, instead of using the sales measure, we're going to say the selected measure. And then in this particular average, what we're going to do is we're going to use a selected measure. So what we're saying is, if we are looking at the data at the month level, then whatever the measure is used on the visual, give me that. Otherwise, give me the average. And what we're going to do in the compare, let's first see this part is working, and then we will come back to compare. I'm going to delete this for now and apply this, save this to our model, and then it come back to Power BI and refresh. Okay, so now we will see the CG trend here as in a table. So that's here. What we're going to use is we're going to do the name as on the top of on columns. So we have name and the month. Instead of now I'm using average sales measure, I will use my sales measure. I can use any measure here. So we are going to drill down into the next level, which will show us the measure. So this trend is coming from our calculation item, because that is our one top level in our hierarchy, and then month. So now we're seeing the average. So this is perfectly fine. So this is working as expected. As we see, whatever we select or the month we select, this whole thing is working. So right now what we did is we can now actually use any of the measure. So if I go in this particular, I have a sales measure, but let's see if I have a tax, I have a measure called tax, I think tax, yeah. So if I use tax measure and remove the sales one, the same formula will work for the tax measure now and giving me the average of the tax. So this is, I can use any of the measure. That's one advantage using calculation groups. So we're going to stick to the sales for now. Now the next part is to show the current month. First, let's try to show the current month. What is that? How we will do that? To do that, what we will do is we will take advantage of Windows function. If you haven't seen, I done many videos on Windows function when it was it was introduced. Do check out that playlist. I will put a link to that playlist in the description of this video. So what we're going to do is, let's go back to our calculation group. Here we're gonna, let's call it current month, and I already have a measure here. I will explain what this measure is, but actually you should look into in the Windows videos on these Windows functions. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, give me the selected measure, whatever measure I'm using on my model and my visual, and we're using the index function, and we're sorting it by month. So get descending, so we get the most recent month on the top, and then we're getting the first row from that. That's what the index does. So this will, if I apply this now, okay, here you go. So we have a trend showing all the months, and then the average, and then the current month. As you can see, this is showing the most recent sales against each month, whatever the month. So 4, 6, 9. As you can see, October, if I change it to November, is my most recent month. So November is 421, and I'm getting 421 for my all the months under the current month section. Now, one thing is, we don't want these month names to show. So how we can avoid those? To show the month, we can say same. We're going to use if has one value calendar month. If calendar month has one value, then return blank, otherwise return the most recent value. So I'm gonna, if has one value of calendar month, then actually we're going to use not. So let's try this. There is some error here. What is the error? Has one, oh, spelling mistake. Has one value. Okay, perfect. So now apply this. So go back to Power BI. What we will see here, as you can see now, what we have is a average, and then this is the most recent sale. As you can see, this is the November sale. That's what we're seeing, the November sale. And let's see if I remove it, 395 and 39585. So this is now working as showing us the current month. We can label it. We will finalize this output, but we are almost getting there. So we have the average now, and we have the current month sale. I don't want to show the current month sale here. I want to show what is the delta between the current month, select most recent month, versus the average. So what we can do is go back to our calculation item. Let's call it most recent month instead of current month. Most recent month, and we found the most recent month sales, and then we also know how to calculate the average. So what we're going to do is we're going to take most recent month minus take the average, and we know how to calculate the average. We already have the formula for that, so we can take this, copy back here. So what I've been saying is from the most current month minus average of X number of months selected. So that means it will give us the delta between those two. So now if we apply this, refresh now, because if we change any of the metadata of calculation groups, we have to refresh this from the yellow bar here. So let's see what we see now. So here you go. So September has 395 sales, and the average for X number of months, the number selected is 396, and then it means the most recent month is less than the average, and in this case 17,000 in Canada, and if I select October, and these numbers are changing. So October most recent month is 469 and the average 488, so most recent month is $60,000 more than the average of selected months. So this is looking great. Now just a little bit of cleanup, because this total and all that stuff doesn't look nice here. What we can do is we can go on a format pane and then in total. We have very few options here, but see what we can do with this. We're going to go column subtotals, and we're going to call it average. So this is now showing average. This is perfect. Most recent month average. So this doesn't sound right. What we can do is we can go back to our calculation group and change the label to most recent month versus. So VS, or whatever you want to write there. We need to refresh here. It's going to read it at most recent month versus average. So that is just a hack how we can change the labels here. And okay, you go most recent month versus average, and this is the average. And what we can do is the column headers, we can bold them so that this is also get highlighted. So we're going to go is column visual, column headers, and make it bold. Perfect. So now everything is bold on the top. So what we have is here, what we have here is a month's sales of each month. So depending on, again, the sales means here whatever the year you put it in here, and we are showing that, and then the average of based on the number of months selected, and the most recent month, which is October in this case, and then we are showing what is the delta. So this is already actually now very powerful. As you can see, you can add the variance percentage, what is the percentage, plus minus, and then you can also highlight this into a different color so that you can make most recent month in a different color. I will leave those two items for you guys to do. What you guys should do is, if you really wanted to get your hands on this, I will share this PBX file and add another total which will show the percentage of the variance, current month and the average. And also in your exercise, if you really wanted to do it, highlight the most recent month in a different color. And basically, if my most recent month is September, then September will get highlighted. If it's October, then October will highlight it. I hope you find this video useful. I know this is a common business question, and there's no other way to achieve that in Power BI, and calculation groups is really powerful. Do watch my videos on calculation groups and also on the Windows functions. And in next video, we will extend this video to the next level, where we will pick one month, and then it will automatically, we will also put what month you want to compare and how many months. It will go back that number of months. And also we will improve on certain things like average year. We are using it at two different places, and we will recycle some of the calculation items in the calculation groups. Stay tuned. Do subscribe my channel. Until next video, have a great day. There's a lot more amazing videos coming up. Make sure to subscribe, and get notified. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day. Bye for now. Thank you.